This is not a report that Canucks fans want to hear, with the question around Manny Malhotra and the Vancouver Canucks, with reports linking the Toronto Maple Leafs to be in on Manny Malhotra. We get a look at exactly what is happening around Vancouver with Adam Foote and Manny Malhotra, plus an update on two key injuries within this organization. We're going to break down everything you need to know, from Manny Malhotra being linked as a candidate for multiple NHL teams, not named the Vancouver Canucks, plus an update on multiple players heading into the Canucks next game. We're going to break down all this and so much more in this episode. But before we get into it, I just want to give a huge shout out to everyone watching. If you're part of the almost 60% watching this right now and you haven't hit that free subscribe button, we're on a road to our goal of 9,000 subscribers, so make sure to hit that free subscribe button. It means the world. And if you're watching on Facebook, hit that free follow button as well. But with that, let's just dive straight into the updates coming out around Manny Malhotra and the Vancouver Canucks, where multiple insiders have spoke on the matter. We can see, coming from Cam Robinson, Manny Malhotra is in the mix as Toronto evaluates coaching options. In notable, given Mike Gillis is a strong candidate for president of hockey operations. Now, of course, Mike being a part of the Canucks organization in the past, Manny Malhotra being with the Abbotsford Canucks, there's a lot of reports coming out and linking the young AHL head coach as the possible Canucks new coach. But now we're getting these reports that he is being linked to teams such as the Toronto Maple Leafs and many others as they look out to fill vacant positions. Now, this goes even deeper, where we do get David Bagnota speaking on this as well. There could be multiple teams looking to hire Manny Malhotra this summer. If Vancouver wants to keep their guy in the organization, they would have to act fast, as LA and Toronto could be great landing spots. Now, of course, we've seen LA fire their coach. They have an interim coach there right now. The Toronto Maple Leafs are looking to change things up. And listen, him going to Toronto is just disgusting. I know he was an assistant there in the past, but Manny Malhotra leaving this organization would hurt. But of course, there's so many ties to not only their next either GM or president of hockey ops, but he has a long relationship with Manny Malhotra, bringing him to Vancouver during his steed here as well. Depending on how things shake out in Toronto, we could see these two reunite again. Now, diving into this, of course, the big thing with Manny Malhotra, no head coach experience in the NHL. Looking at a lot of guys that have been promoted from the Abbotsford Canucks having very good years. Linus Karlsson has been outstanding. Rato, Mueller, Sasson, all these guys, including Mancini and DPD, have all played under, of course, Manny Malhotra, and the two goaltenders right here, of course, in Tolopilo and Patera, work under Manny as well. So, of course, there is a lot of influence with Manny Malhotra when you're looking through the team. And in the AHL, of course, this season, the Abbotsford Canucks have struggled mightily, but this is because, and a big factor into it, a lot of man-missed games. You can see Jonathan Leckmacki playing only 21 games, sitting in the top 10 of scoring still. But looking through the list, with the Vancouver Canucks dealing with a bunch of injuries, and even compared to last year where a lot of guys had career years, Aturatu 40 points, 17 goals, and looking through the numbers, Manny Malhotra has done an incredible job working with these young players within the system and at least getting them chances within the team. We're seeing it from ECHL players as they deal with injuries. Of course, Abbotsford won a Calder Cup this last year, and looking at this year, sitting dead last in the AHL. But at the end of the day, as a lot of the players were called up to the Vancouver Canucks with trades, injuries, anything in between, that did leave a big empty spot within Abbotsford. And of course, that would result in 37 points in 68 games. But the big thing is now it's a deciding factor on if you keep Adam Foote or if you move on from Foote, which we know the big thing is ownership likes to save money. So with Adam Foote, firing him would mean they have to pay him out of pocket, then promote Manny Malhotra, give him more money, and that's a big concern. With Adam Foote, 2 years as an assistant coach with this team, and then going in, he was hired midseason, so 2.5, and then 1 year as a head coach, which has resulted in the Vancouver Canucks having the top pick going into the draft, or at least the highest odds to land it, and of course, diving into the lottery. I see a lot of people saying they're going to drop past 3. It's physically impossible. Of course, at the very bottom of the league, they can't come out of it. 25% chance at number 1, 18.6, going for 2, or 56.3. So the Canucks are looking at one of the top 3 picks going into this draft. But the big thing is, and looking back right now, if Manny Malhotra is to leave the Vancouver Canucks, you need to find an AHL coach. But the big thing is, with the Canucks moving in to this new realm of young prospects within their system, is do you trust Adam Foote enough to do this? When looking at the Canucks and with Adam Foote, we've seen a lot this season, and of course Evander Kane was in this lineup, and keeping him in here to get him his 1000th game. We're going to get into an update on him as well, but we've seen Adam Foote make some questionable calls, scratching Ratu. 4 guys within this lineup that weren't producing. So if you can't get the young guys, though he's doing a good job now, Liam Olgren up on the top line, Rossi playing in the second line, but if you can't get these guys into the lineup, it kind of worries you when you're looking at this draft going into this July, when we see a lot of new faces, Gavin McKenna, Ivor Stenberg, or someone within that top 5 on the Canucks. Of course, you're getting 3, but maybe you draft Filip Hronek to keep Manny around. This is a team that now needs to figure out their coaching in order to keep, of course, not only the fan base happy, but the young players happy, get them in, implement it into the lineup, and actually get them to develop. The last thing you want is Adam Foote to draft a guy like Gavin McKenna. Of course, he wouldn't draft him, but this management doing it, and then not get him into the lineup, though Coots got in for 3 games to start the year, so maybe there's a lot to look at. But fans, let me know your thoughts on Manny Malhotra. Would you hire him as the next head coach? Would you rather keep Adam Foote? Though he seems like a great guy, he's done some decent things. It feels like a lot of time it's been a disaster when you're looking at the schemes within this team. Of course, a first-year coach in just a down year, so you can't put all the blame on him. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments on this. But I do want to quickly get into some updates around the Canucks team as well. We've seen the update coming through that Adam Foote says Kevin Lankinen and Evander Kane are both day-to-day, not ready to shut either of them down just yet. Hronek's another maintenance day. So with Evander Kane and, of course, Kevin Lankinen, there's a chance we don't see him for the rest of the season. With Evander Kane, I spoke about this before his 1000th game. It seemed like one of the situations they want to get him to 1K. Once that happens, you don't need to get him into the lineup. It makes Dan Milstein, his agent, a little happy, and, of course, Evander Kane, but it helps with free agency, getting players and getting a relationship with agents to get them into the lineup. So I understand that from that standpoint, but it seems like Kane's days might be numbered. Of course, he will not be re-signed, and there's a good chance that we don't see him with the Canucks anymore this season. And it goes back to Kevin Lankinen, which I think is a blunder on Adam Foote's sense, where you play this guy, what was it, 10 straight games, he gets hurt. Of course, that's an over workload on a guy when you have Tolopilo in the system, who of course has struggled from time to time, a young goaltender that's getting in his own legs in the league. But at the end of this, what is your thoughts on everything around this team? What is your thoughts on the update from Manny Malhotra? What is your thoughts on Adam Foote? Would you keep one of these guys over the other? Let me know your thoughts on everything to do with the draft as well. And hey, if you made it this far, hit that free subscribe button. We're on the way to 9,000. It means the world. I've been your host, Mark Pye, and take care, Canucks fans.